My name is Naomi Journo. I'm the founder of Her Tribe magazine. Almost 200 registrations that we received for this event, and I don't take it for granted. I think it's amazing. It's a special day, and it's like busy times. We just finished school year, kids are home, and vacations, and just everyone is so busy. For me, it's like a biggest compliment that you are here joining us today. Just a little couple of words on the beginning before my amazing friend and neighbor Shirel Korobkin will speak and host this amazing event. I'm so excited because we have wonderful women joining us and speaking. I just want to share with you what I have, and this is 9 editions of Her Tribe magazine, which we are celebrating. And it's not just like a magazine, there are more than 30 contributors each edition, and it's all the time something different energy, different people, different season. So it all matters. And why we are doing this, what is it about, like what's Her Tribe? This is I think it's like super cliche to say that more than a magazine, but it is more than a magazine. We started as a response to October 7 to bring more light into the Jewish world, and not just Jewish world, into the world, and to contribute and to connect. And it's a global magazine, and we are producing that here in Israel, no matter what, no matter if the rockets are falling above our heads, or if now it's Baruch Hashem. I hope it will stay like this. It's quiet, and thanks to all our soldiers and everybody who makes this possible. Really, we never know. It's unpredictable, and in these conditions, uncertain time, we are producing, and it just connects to the right people. It's not for everyone. I understand that there are so many magazines on the market, and it's fine if it's not for everybody. But ladies who are joining us, who enjoy the magazine, who love that, who are waiting for that, asking me when is the next copy, it's just special. It's such a wonderful connection, and I love when the contributors in the magazine are celebrated, and when they can help someone who needs them at the right time. And there's always contact, there's like information. It's not like we are just throwing articles and have like a bunch of advertisements and you need to swim in the advertisement to find the articles. It's really the spotlight is our Jewish community and celebrating Hashem, celebrating our conversations and real life challenges. It can be great for healing, or just like if you have your precious quiet moment to really reconnect. And I could speak about it a long time. I don't want to. I just want to. Wow, I see so many women. It's so exciting. Please turn your camera on. If you can. If you cannot, I understand. You can listen as a podcast and just enjoy because why we are here. It's really to kick out summer and reconnect and have fun. I'm so happy that I got these amazing women to partner with me on this evening, and I hope you will enjoy and have really benefit. Thank you for all your support during the journey. We are taking a break now for summer, and we'll see what's the next chapter for the magazine. Thank you, Shirel. Please take it now.
Welcome. It's so lovely to have you here, and good evening all the way from Israel. My name is Shirel Korobkin. Normally, I'm a mommy. In the evenings, I'm a grief educator and counselor, but tonight I am your host here with Her Tribe magazine, and I'm so excited to be here with each and every single one of you. For those of you who are joining us live right now, to those of you who are watching the recording, we're just so happy to have you here. We need to take an intentional pause, enable for us to enjoy the summer, soak it all in, and we're going to be learning tonight some tips and tricks on how to actually do that instead of just sitting out in the sun and burning, parts of our skin off or anything like that. We want to have fun, but we also need intentional space in order to pause, reflect, and recharge for whatever is going to be coming next for Her Tribe magazine. Ladies, we have 9 issues that have been featured since October 7th up until today from Her Tribe magazine, each one packed with beautiful stories, artwork, spotlights on different communities, really, really vulnerable articles that have touched so many of us so deeply. And it has created not only conversations here on the online sessions that we do, online events that we do, but also in person. Many of you may be seeing your friends, maybe somebody in your community featured in the magazine, and it's just created more of a sense of community. It's created so much belonging, and that's what Her Tribe is all about. So what we're going to be doing is that we have many of the issues still available for you. Then now at the end of the year, we know maybe you're wondering, what can I maybe give some of my friends, my teachers, camp? What am I going to take up with me for my vacation? Ladies, you do not want to miss out on taking some of these issues with you. Yes, some of them are seasonal, but the lessons and the stories and the spotlights, those are classics. They can be read at any time, at any moment, and they're so deeply personal and moving and impactful. So we're going to be offering that to you, beautifully packaged here in Israel. And as well, for those of you who are abroad that you would like to access it via Amazon, you can do that. And if you are accessing it over on Amazon, we ask that you please leave a review. That's how we get people to notice us more. It's, of course, being shared by mouth. We know that's the best way to share this type of work, but it's also by leaving reviews. And that's how we can get picked up by other people online who are doing their shopping on Amazon and beyond. So please make sure if you are making your purchases, so please do it to leave us a beautiful review on Amazon. In the meantime, before we get started with today's sessions, I just want to let you know that yes, we're going to be taking a pause, but you can always access us on our Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, via email. We're going to be including all of that information down in the chat, as well as in the email that you will have at the end once the session is available online. We want to hear from you. We want to stay in touch. Don't leave us hanging. We want to hear thoughts, maybe something that you would like to see in a future issue, maybe some ideas that you might have for us for Her Tribe. We really want to hear from you. So please, there's so many ways to connect. Please, please, please don't be a stranger. We really would love to connect with you. So as Naomi mentioned, we have online formats here in Israel. There's so many opportunities to buy it in person. It's just really so special for you. So please, please do take advantage of that. Now, we get to take a deep breath in and out. Welcome, ladies. Summer is already here. We are so excited to embark on this new journey. But some of you might be thinking, how am I going to handle summer with my kids? How am I going to handle summer with the heat? How am I going to handle summer with the uncertainty? How am I going to handle summer with different energies that are coming up, with the energy of Tammuz? We're walking soon into the energies of Av. There's a lot of moments that the summer can bring, and we want to be able to make summer beautiful, meaningful, special, and fun. And when I think of those things, the very first person that I think of is Jordana Baruchov Greenfield. She's here with us, ladies. We're very, very excited and so truly blessed to have her here. She has been contributing to Her Tribe magazine several times. She's had articles featured in the magazines, and as well, she is featured here in the summer edition. So ladies, if you haven't already read it, it's over here. It keeps getting blurred out. She's over there. And we're just so touched by all the support that you've been giving to the magazine. And we just really, really appreciate all of your partnership and everything that you've given to us here. So for those of you who do not know Jordana, Jordana is a soul coach, Torah influencer, and the host of Drink It In podcast, available where you can get all of your podcasts, ladies. As a director of social media and marketing strategy for Renewal, she inspires thousands upon thousands through her teaching, speaking, and online presence. A devoted mother of 6 and proud grandmother, that's very important, ladies. She shares wisdom, warmth, and authentic Torah-based guidance. Jordana, we're so touched and so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. What I would love to know before we dive into your talk is, you've been now part of the magazine for, I want to say for a while, for a long time. What I want to know, when you think of, you work with countless Jewish women, you empower so many Jewish women through everything that you've experienced in your life, hardships, the highs, the lows, all of it. What is your dream for the global Jewish women's community?
What a powerful question, Shirel. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you Naomi, for doing this and for creating her tribe for our tribe. It's really very special that you've given us a place to have our voice, whether it be written, vocal, and it's a real gift that you've given everybody here. So thank you so much. So what do I hope for women? That women become more accepting of themselves, more loving of themselves, and through that learn to live a more joyous, fulfilled life. That's what I hope for. And thank you, Naomi, for giving us articles and introducing us to women that could put us on the right path.
I love your answer, Jordana. That I need to find my magic wand to make that happen because
All right.
amen to that. So what we're looking for is if you can give us some inspiration for the season and how just to thrive in this time. Summer, as I
Mm.
mentioned before, brings a lot different energies. And with all of your experience, really inspiring so many women globally, what can you give us some chizuk, inspiration, some guidance on how to really make this summer the most meaningful summer that we can have?
Okay, so I will do my best. Ladies, you ready? So, as we all know, this Thursday we're starting the 3 weeks, a very painful season. And I came across this aha thought this year. Every year I try to think of how can I relate the 3 weeks to my life and then hopefully to the lives of thousands of women. And this thought came to me, and I said, this is the thought for this year. You ready? The greatest tragedy isn't what we lost. The greatest tragedy isn't what we lost. It's what we've stopped missing. It's what we've stopped missing. And what I could connect that to the 3 weeks, I could connect that to the Beis Hamikdash, to the third temple that we don't have yet, or the temples that we've never experienced. And I could say, we've lost it. And that's what we're mourning. But for this year, I'm telling myself, no, I'm mourning what I've already stopped missing. That's what I'm mourning. That I don't even connect to it anymore, that I don't even realize I'm missing it. So, for example, if you've ever had a relationship that quietly fell apart, yeah, a friendship that seemed to have died out, a connection to a family member, a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a neighbor, a spouse, that somewhere or other, you're like, where did it go wrong? Something went awry. If I go back and I could go back in a time machine and I could take myself back 5 years, I could get to that initial fight that might have caused the resentment or the insult or the argument. But now so much time has passed by and I can't even remember what that point of difference was that caused the problem in this relationship. And as time went by, I got accustomed to not having that relationship anymore. And so I don't even know what I'm missing. I don't even know the conversations that I'm missing with my neighbor. I don't even know the get togethers that I could have had with my family members. I don't even know about those happy moments that I could have had with my spouse or my children or my parents. At first, that distance actually hurt me, but then life got busy. And eventually, I just stopped reaching out or they stopped reaching out. And that relationship is no longer there. And I don't even miss it anymore. Now, this is all amazing, right? If you noticed, I was talking about all these other relationships. First, I started with the Beit HaMikdash, the temples. Then I brought it into my interpersonal relationships that I might have with those people around me. But I'm going to take it one step further. And this is piggybacking off of the article, if you read Her Tribe, if you didn't get a chance to read my article yet, I'm going to piggyback off of that article because the most important relationship that most of us don't even realize is missing is the relationship with ourselves. We just go on with life, especially if you're a busy mom like I was, so busy. I would say that my moment of pause was probably COVID. I know that COVID brought upon so much stress for so many people, but it really gave all of us a moment of pause to reflect, to look in the mirror, to see our surroundings, because there was no more noise. There was no more distractions. Everybody in my house came home. All the boys that were away in school in yeshiva, they came home. No one could go out to work. No one could go out to school. I, who was a teacher at the time, couldn't get to school either. There was no classes. Everything was online. There was no more programs. There were no more shiurim to go to. This is how it all started. We're doing everything on Zoom. This was the gift of COVID, that we could have women from all over the world together right now, learning together. That was the gift of COVID. We realize it. And I was trapped in my house. Trapped in my house, trapped in my relationships, and trapped within myself. I forgot who I was, like so many of us do when we get so busy. And not only did I forget who I was up until that period of time, I didn't even know what I was missing. I just went through life, went through the motions. But when I had that moment of pause, I began to realize how unhappy and how disconnected I was to who I could be, who I was meant to be. You know, I just gave a workshop a few hours ago. I'm in the process of giving a workshop called Take the Stage, where I have a group of women. I have 8 women. It's very intimate, exclusive, Baruch Hashem. And every week we go through and build upon the other. And it's not just about public speaking. It's also about for women who want to communicate better in relationships, women who are in the workforce and want to hold their own in a meeting and can't seem to find that voice. And one of the things I shared with them today was a moment of when I was 16 years old. 16 years old. It happened to have been right here in Israel. I'll never forget it. It was in Binyanei U'ma. It was in the summertime. And there were about 2,000 women in the room. And there were speakers up on the stage, female speakers. Now, if you would ask me what those women said, I have no recollection at all. It wasn't that the words of the women inspired me. It was rather the women themselves inspired me. It set me on a path that I didn't even remember until COVID time. Can you imagine? In COVID, I was in my mid-40s. I'm 52 now. And so this was when I was 16 years old. I saw those women and I said to myself, Jordana, that's going to be you one day. You're going to be there inspiring thousands of women. And that voice shut down year after year after year, through child after child, marriage after marriage. It completely shut down. And I was unrecognizable. And I didn't even know what I was missing. Just like we don't even know what we're missing in reference to the 3 weeks and what we could have with the Beit HaMikdash and our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And what I slowly began to do is realize I needed to reconnect to myself. How did I do that? How do you reconnect to yourself? How do we take this moment of pause that Shirel is talking about, that Naomi's talking about, that summer allows us that time? And some of us, it might be even more difficult because there's less structure. Kids are no longer in school. There's They're all over the place. Maybe they're in camp. Maybe they're not in camp. How do you take that moment of pause? And if anything, it's even needed more strongly now than it is during the year. I once saw this infograph, I would call it, really very strong infograph of a flower with petals, but it was colorless. And it was just an outline of a flower with different petals. And what the exercise was meant for the person is to fill in what they're passionate about, what speaks to them. So for me, I love to dance. So I would put in dance. Another petal I would put in taking walks. Another petal I would put in listening to Torah classes. Another petal I would put in going out or for coffee with a friend. Another petal I would put in, perhaps you might put in art, drawing, journaling, singing, bike riding, going to the beach, swimming. I think you get the point. And when you fill in all those different petals of what is you are personally passionate about, what speaks to you, you take that now diagram, put it on your refrigerator, put it on a wall where you see it every day. And when you pass by, say to yourself, have I done something today on the petals? One thing every day. Because if we do not do one of those things every day, we will not blossom like the flower. This is how we reconnect ourselves. Everybody could be something different. Reading a book. You know how to fill in the petals. If you don't know how to figure that out, contact me privately and I'll teach you how to do it. There are other exercises to do, how to figure out what your petals are and what you're passionate about. That's how you reconnect to yourself. By reconnecting to yourself, that is the first step. Once you learn to strengthen yourself and you have that backbone and you got your stride back and you got that good vibe going, guess what you can do next? You can then have the courage to reconnect to that family member, to that friend, to that neighbor, to that child, whoever it might be. And it's baby steps. So the first step, reconnect to yourself. Take this time, figure out what makes you tick, what lights your soul on fire. I love that term. What lights your soul on fire and what's going to make your flower bloom? What waters your flower so that every day you can shine and grow and bloom? Once you're on that path, then you can branch out a bit. Branch out, find other flowers, find other people that you have lost touch with. It could be something small. Don't feel like you have to jump in right away. It could be a small text. And don't go crazy. If it's not well received, let it go. You've done yours. Don't say, well, Jordana said, I got to go. I got to reach it. No, you've tried. There's that concept. You've tried to apologize to someone 3 times at 3 different time periods, at 3 different locations, and there's nothing coming back to you. You've done yours. You could then sleep at night and say, I've tried. I've tried to reach out. I wanted to reconnect. Reconnect to yourself. Reconnect to those relationships that you are missing. And then comes the ultimate connection. The ultimate connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with Hashem. Because you feel settled. You feel good. You feel good about yourself. You feel good about the relationships that you have so that you can ultimately work on the highest and probably hardest relationship to work on. Remember that we've lived with brokenness, unfortunately, for so long that we stop trying to repair it, but it's going to stop now. We're going to learn how to repair. We can do this. I've given you simple steps, something that you can do. There will be a time when the Beit HaMikdash gets rebuilt. It will be repaired. And as the famous story says, it gets built one brick at a time. And the bricks are in our hands. We can build those bricks, the bricks of ourselves, the bricks of our relationships, and then the bricks with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So I'll leave you with this. When you wake up in the morning, tomorrow morning, try this to get the juices flowing. Say, I miss this. I want this back. Whether so far reaching with Hashem, whether a little bit closer with my neighbor, my friend, a relative, or simply I want it back with myself. I want to reconnect with Jordana, with Shirel, with Naomi, with Ruth, with Gabrielle, with Valerie. I don't see any other names up on top because I only get 5 names here. Whoever it is, start with yourself, then go to someone in your life, and then you'll be able to reconnect to Hashem. So I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share this with you. I hope this helps. Again, any questions, you can definitely reach out to me. Oh, thank you. And I would put any contact. You could follow me on Instagram if you'd like. Drink it in, Jordana. Email me is also very good. Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed my articles.
Jordana, thank you so much. Woo! Oh my goodness. I am so excited to practice the petal with the flower. I'm so excited to rediscover what I'm passionate about because like you said, many of us, we just forget, and not because it's intentional, but just because life, that's how it is. So I hope for each and every single one of us, we can all take the time to rediscover that. Jordana, thank you so much for coming. Before you go, is there anything you would maybe like to share with some of the ladies? I know that you mentioned about your podcast, you mentioned about your Instagram. Any other invitations that you would like to give to people who maybe this is the first time they're hearing you speak, or if it's the millionth time they're hearing you speak, how they can continue to stay in touch with you?
Well, for sure, if you don't have Instagram, I do happen to have a WhatsApp group, a Drink It In WhatsApp group. People have seen my videos. I put out a video every Thursday called Drink It In. It's a short parsha snippet that connects to our lives. Hopefully something that you take with you. I know people seem to enjoy that. If you ever want to seek more, like I had said when I spoke about finding your voice, that's what I help women with. It's a 3-prong. Some women need help finding their inner voice. Some people need help with their stage voice, and some people help with their digital voice. So if you feel like you fit into any of those categories, definitely reach out to me. Let's get on a call. Let's see if we're a good fit for each other. And
Amazing.
I'd love to help you and guide you in any which way I can.
Wow. Thank you, Jordana, so much. Ladies, please take advantage. And thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Ladies, oh my goodness, I am excited. I'm feeling the fuel. It's dripping down into my Neshamah, into my soul, and the fire is coming. And I love that saying. So it's the heat is turning up, ladies. And I hope that you can just feel all of that energy and feel that deep within yourself right now. Ladies, we have another incredible speaker joining us here. We have the phenomenal Malka Kornreich. She's been here. This is actually the second time that we're having her come on onto one of our live events. And we've also had her featured in the magazine. And she's an incredible sponsor for many of the magazines that we've been putting out. She's as well a sponsor for the summer edition. So if you get your hard copy, ladies, nothing beats hard copy. I know we're doing everything online. If there was a way for us to be doing this in person, that we were able to somehow, rent a massive taxi and just get everybody and planes and just fly everybody in, we would do it. We can't do it, but get yourself a hard copy of the magazine and you'll see beautifully Malka has sponsored. And we're so grateful to you for all of your support for the magazine, coming and doing the live events with us and just creating such a beautiful, beautiful sense of community. So For those of you who maybe this is your first time meeting Malka, I just want to share a little bit about her. Malka is a certified health coach, integrated therapist, energy healer, Aqua Trainer, and Expressive Dance facilitator with over 26 years of experience through a holistic approach to emotional, physical, and spiritual and personal well-being. She helps individuals release limiting beliefs, reconnect with their inner strengths, and create meaningful, lasting transformations rooted in growth, wellness, and purpose. Malka, thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Before I have you share everything that we are so looking forward to hearing you share, I would like to ask you the similar question that I asked Jordana before. When you think of, because you work primarily with women, creating community, empowering them, what is your dream? Similar to maybe what we're doing here at Her Tribe Magazine, what's your dream that you wish for the global Jewish women's community?
Unlike Jordana, I have this quick answer because I don't have this deep, for Torah. Because my answer is that you're already doing it. I just felt like this jump up at me, and I'm like I want to be deep and give you this wonderful. But I just felt like my dream has always been to do this, and I feel like Hashem really drops the energy of like something neat thing to happen, and whoever grabs it, like it's not Purim time, but when you talk about Esther, right, like you have to be the one who's going to do it, right? And it's even when you're describing, who I am, right, this is a place where I can really be what you described, where all of us, every one of these women here, and we are able to accomplish and create our dreams, where really, really not, people don't believe that yet. Women don't believe that. And I think just to echo the dreams and wishes of the other women, of Jordana who spoke, and of what you and Naomi are saying, is that just if we could really all create the community. I'm not speaking about this today, but I'm speaking about the loneliness that I hear from women a lot. It really does. It's sad and it's hard. And so when you reach out as a community, you think, really, come on, people live places. There are all these organizations, but people really do need it. And I hear it and I feel it. So I just feel like jumping right back and saying, yeah, this, and I'm glad to be part of it. And it is, and what I really wanted to say is that the gratitude that you express, there's no one else like you and Naomi, Shirel. Like there is, like, that you appreciate sponsors, like I was like, what's the difference between this and putting out just an advertisement, like on something? Because when you sponsor Her Tribe, you're part of the Her Tribe family. It's just, and that connection, you want to buy into it. You just want to be part of that. It's contagious, I'm just returning from a retreat in Tveria. I was in Tveria today, so I've like got that, like sun. And this is my background all the time. I'm just always like in the back of my mind on the beach. I'm supposed to be talking about health tips for the summer, right? Nutrition and, but I have to share that far be it from me, to be that expert, right? And everyone was like on the trip today, everyone was like eating in this big hotel dining room, and I had my organic food, and everyone's feeling like real guilty. And I'm like, don't feel guilty, eat. Es gesunde Heit, Kinder. Like, I don't mind, feel good. It's not about that. Just check, just feel into it. Are you eating something that's going to make you feel good? Not guilty. Don't feel guilty, enjoy. But if tomorrow you feel depressed, not because of the guilt, but because that's really how it affects your body, then you just want to know, just be aware, just be in tune, right? So people are always like, why are you not eating this, or why are you eating that? Yeah, sounds good. And that's about me. Like, don't try to be me. I'm just like trying to be me, But everyone has their individual and unique, really individual and unique needs. Some people really need to be vegetarian. Some people need to be, a meat eater, like a carnivore, right? I'm not the expert on that, but energetically, everyone does need to feel, and there's different stages in your life. So summer is really special because it is intense, as you described. Sometimes for some people it's really boring, and some people are very lonely, right? Like it's really nice to say, like, I went on this vacation and I have this background, but like some people are just like, home and lonely, and there's so many things. It's harder to tap into what you need when you feel overwhelmed and you don't know what to do, and there's a lot of confusion, right? So the first tip I want to say, like, I wanted to put it around like it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Like, one is take a second, step into who you are, and feel like it's okay, not guilt, not about what you should or shouldn't do, not what is in style, not what diet, and not about like having to carbs, sides, whatever, proteins. It's not about that. It's about where you're at. So just take off the guilt, be in touch with yourself, hold the food. Is it good for you? Feel if it is, if it speaks to you, if you need it right now, good. Take the step the next day. Don't be OCD about it. But yeah, it does matter. It matters. It does matter. But that doesn't mean it has to be about guilt and that it has to be about feeling limited, right? So that's one. Two is really like quick meals. I'm very into like taking out the bad, bringing in the good, right? So I don't eat a lot, but whatever I eat is good. So I just had a yummy acai shake. I just put together like in 2 seconds. Don't get a recipe. Don't think about it. I had some bananas and some acai powder and coconut cream. It was really delicious. I'm like, what's going to give me energy after being out the whole day, totally dehydrated, and and wanting to speak and speak on, give over some tips. The coconut, I think I said in the first time I spoke, coconut water has amazing amount of electrolytes, and we really need that. There's a lot of heat coming in, heat waves. The whole winter was sort of weird. There was a lot of awkward weather situations, like totally hot and raining. These things throw our body off balance. One of the things about holistic medicine is just that term. It's holistic. You're looking at the person and you want to be in balance. And when a lot of things that we say are coming from Chinese medicine or natural medicine. So if you say like, wow, that really threw me off balance, you actually were thrown off balance because your system is supposed to be like in one, sort of form. You have, the balance is not always just about your personal balance, but there's just sort of a balance that Hashem created us with. And that something can throw us off balance, something toxic, a toxic relationship, like was mentioned before, a toxin in the foods. So part of two is just keeping away from bad foods, right? And closer to good foods. So like eat yummy things, stay away from colors, like food coloring and toxins. It does, and keep your kids away. And if you can, the men in your life, fathers, husbands, sons, because it can give headaches and make people grumpy. And a lot of those things could just really mess up your life, I'll try to give your summer, so sometimes it's not just about being healthy, but it does actually affect the dynamics. Okay, trying to keep it short. Wow. So just check your energy system, think about what makes you feel good. Quick meals that are full of energy. Avocados is actually a protein. You don't have to be vegetarian. You could have like a nice big steak, whatever you're into, good, but stay away from the excess sauces. Sugar, actually, according to some opinions, is very okay for an adult. Pure cane, unprocessed sugar could be okay. Dates, make yummy stuff, but just keep it light. Kids love that also. Banana shakes and frozen stuff, mangoes are really good. All of that is good. Keeping it good, keeping it positive, and you can feel better about things and create the energy that you want. Create the energy in your life. Sometimes I look at health and wellness as a business, right? Like I think a lot of women are shifting in this, time. We're all either at an age where like we're grandmothers, God, thank God, but like, and we didn't have opportunities 20, 30 years ago to be coaches and counselors and whatever we're being. And our business has become more of our life. There's a principle in business, and it's about like letting your business work for you. So summer's about, you worked really hard this year. You may be really healthy, but now you have to let go. Let your business work for you. It's okay to gain a little weight. It's okay to let go. I'm more into that, just being aware that it doesn't make you sad that the food that you bring in, don't worry about the weight right now. I know that's important to you, but it's not, like it's not the ikar here. It's not the main thing here. The main thing is to stay happy, upbeat, keeping in mind that soon you'll have your time again, hopefully, or things will be more routine for the people who like routine. Some people don't like routine like me, but and even when I was out there today, like at the Kinneret, this beautiful, beautiful beach, it's still, I have to remind myself, we have to like reset each day, take the time to reset and say, like, what is my body calling me for me today? And if you need help with that, so there are lots of wonderful people who are there, and her tribe is always there. You could buy all of their magazines and just read, just get back in a good mood and get yourself going again. Know that you can reconfigure, reset, like a Waze. You just, and you could use that principle with everyone in your life, right? So keeping it simple, right? And getting out. Okay, so I really felt better. Like, come on, I was out in the sun. I tried to go jogging. I went in the water, right? There's some people who were staying inside the hotel. They were watching a movie and they were like doing some workshops, and that's also good. But people who are energetic, not just kids, you need to move. And energy is emotion and movement. It's emotion is energy and movement. Movement helps you flow and helps you eat better. So when you're in a better mood, you're going to want to eat better. And taking a vacation, being off, is not like eating whatever you want. It's taking time off is like, wow, now I have time. If you do, now I could like make good choices. Or if you don't have time, now I don't have time, so I'm going to keep it minimum. I'm going to try my best, right? Anything more that I could share, Shirel? What do you think? What do you say?
I'm so pumped. I think what you said, with everything that you mentioned about just the guilt and letting go of that or shame and bringing good energy. Speaking of good energy, somebody asked here if you can give us a short, lightning round version of preparing. We have a fast coming up. What are some of the best ways that we can nourish ourselves, and that way we take advantage of the fast day? There's a lot to be taken from the day, not just the day that we just sleep the whole day. So what can we do to physically prepare as well?
Okay, awesome. Thank you for asking that. That is such a big thing for me. I've had like so many different things. I hate fasting. Truth out, okay? I feel so limited, but most of the time I don't eat so much. It's just that like concept that we have to fast, right? Not everyone has to, right? Like people ask their rabbis and decide like at what stage, if it's really hard for them. But electrolytes are really big. So this coconut water thing, also, by the way, on a flight, if you're going to be, I know you can't bring liquid, but if you're going to be going and traveling, it's really important to do electrolytes. That sometimes there are powders, but coconut water is really good. Thank you. And okay, so there's the old things. There's the watermelon, right? There's the grape juice and grapes. Those are like old practical things, and a lot of them have good sugar. Obviously, the better, the fresher, the less chemicals on it, the more it's going to really help. Now, there's this whole thing about these like caffeine capsules. Have you guys seen this? So I went crazy, and I'm trying to be balanced, right? So I took I see that every year people take these herbal capsules, and it really feels good. So I'm like, yo, if it's herbal capsules are good, take it the whole year. So I shouldn't have put my foot in my mouth, because now everyone's taking caffeine capsules. And I was like, okay, I should have just welcomed that. So I'm just welcoming the fact that there's been these fast, easy things, and there are beautiful herbs that, yeah, they really do help. They can help all year long, in addition to the fact that they could help you before and after a fast. But if you are, I'm totally into organic coffee, so you can totally quote me that I am addicted to caffeine as well, but I can manage it without that day. So you want to get in good electrolytes. It's hard to drink too much before a fast. Don't push it, right? Because sometimes people drink a lot and they eat a lot before a fast, and then they wind up in the bathroom the whole time. So just hold off on too much. You'll try your best. And then you're going to slowly after the fast, we know it's a break fast. Breakfast is break fast. So take that concept of some people do juicing in the morning. Some people only eat fruits, right? The old Fit for Life. Some people are very into pat shacharit, which is like a sandwich, a whole grain sandwich. I always felt like taking it lighter. I don't like these like, rugelach and things straight after a fast. Besides, that's not our style, but like, you just wonder, like, come on, like, go in easy, but like, that's how people are. So something light, right? Whatever, think of it as breakfast. Even after the fast, don't go really fast into a big meal, even if you're really hungry. Think about, stories we've heard, always like from sad parts of history where people ate too much too soon when they were restricted from food. So it's gradual. And then whatever you think of it as a reset. Someone asked me today if I'm into intermittent fasting, and, there's a lot to be said about it, right? Again, I don't think one thing is good for everyone, but there is something to it. So if you've already taken that fast, maybe that's a time to reset. That's not why we fast, but many cultures around the world have this concept of fasting, using it as a way of cleansing spiritually, but also physically. So it's really fascinating. And if you want to take that time to figure out what would really be good for you and how you want to start the new year, because everything's spiritual. Everything you put in your mouth,
True.
when you make that bracha and when you have that intention, it's totally different. I'm working on it myself. I'm like world expert, no world expert, just lots of experience. We've been on lots of different diets. My husband has had Crohn's. My son has epilepsy. We've tried lots of different things. And I myself just not naturally in shape. And I have to work hard, but it's possible. And I think you can do it. Just find what's right for you.
Beautiful. Malka, thank you so much for joining us. Ladies, she gave us an entire, plethora of ideas that are very practical and real. And just thank you so much. I think that we're going to not only be going into the summer, nourishing our mind, bodies, and souls, but we're also going to be walking to the fast, pre-fast, and also post-fast, feeling much better. So ladies, if you want to get in touch with Malka, she was speaking about her retreat, and it's also something that she's been promoting as well when she sponsors Her Tribe magazine. We're going to include her contact information. Please get in touch with her if you feel that this is something aligned with you, aligned with maybe the kind of work that you want to be working on for yourself, for your families. Please be in touch. Malka, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, and wishing you a beautiful summer. Ladies, we have one more phenomenal speaker. I know that we're running a little bit later than we anticipated, but we just want to squeeze. There's so much to squeeze in, and there's so much good that we want you to walk away with tonight. So joining us for our last segment is the incredible Chaia Frishman. She's going to be speaking to us today about improvisation. And not just when you think about improv, it's not just in comedy clubs, it's also in everyday life. So a little bit about Chaia before we pass the mic over to her is that she was actually featured in the summer edition. If you can get, again, your hard copy, grab that there, where she was sharing some incredible recipes that she had and just about good energy and having fun and different ways to discover yourself within that energy. So Chaia Frishman is a recipe developer, food writer, educator, and improv facilitator who believes most problems can be improved with better communication and something good to eat. So combining those two worlds together is beautiful. She creates approachable, flavorful recipes with warmth, humor, and practicality, drawing on her love of creativity, collaboration, and bringing people together. Chaia, thank you so much for joining us and being part of the Her Tribe family. I would go ahead and ask you a question, but I just want you to jump into the meat and potatoes of it. I want to hear a little bit talk to me about improv for everyday life, especially in the summer where there's a lack of schedule, there's a lack of, what can we expect the unexpected. How can we get the best moments out of our summer this summer?
Thank you so much, Shirel. And Naomi, I was so glad to meet you through these recipes. It sounds like I'm a little, ADHD, all the things you mentioned, and maybe I am. People think of improv. They think, oh, funny, or I have to be funny, and it's about comedy. But honestly, improv to me is a way of life. I always say improv, my website's even called Life Improved because it really makes you a better person. So improv is about taking the gifts, taking the opportunities, taking whatever Hashem throws at you and doing something with it. So this morning, maybe a kid missed his bus to camp. Maybe you burned breakfast. Maybe the meeting went longer and you thought you're supposed to go second, and you're like, what am I going to do now? But those are all improvisational opportunities. So improv is not necessarily about being funny. I like funny. Funny is my thing. But it's also about responding to whatever Hashem gives you. So there are so many tenets of improv, but I want to focus about three in particular. So one of the things when I'm doing a scene with someone in an improv class, and Baruch Hashem, I've been zoche to take improv for 4 years now. And when you're doing a scene, you are so present, you have to listen. People sometimes they hear something from someone, and they're while the person is talking, they are already formulating what their response is. But improv is honestly about listening to what the other person is saying and really being open to what they're saying, even if it's something you don't agree with, and how you're going to respond to that. So how often in real life do we do that, whether it's with a spouse, with a child, with somebody you might not even like so much, because we like everyone. It's almost the 3 weeks, but you're constantly thinking like, what's going to happen next? I'll give you an example. In some of the improv games we play, there's something called the one word story. So I did this facilitation in a marketing group, in a corporate group, and I told them the one word story was each person was going to say one word, and then the next person was going to say the next word. And of course, you asked for a suggestion from the audience, and they were talking about vacations. It's funny, we were talking about vacations just now. And by the way, Malka, the only word that I focused on was sugar is good for you. So thank you for that. So as I went around the room, everyone wants to be the funny line. So if you were to have people talk, one day I went to the Bahamas, or a person could have said store, or a person could have said anything. And you can't know what you're supposed to say unless you're listening intently to the person before you. So everyone can necessarily be part of the improv and be part of the funny, but sometimes your line is just went or to or the. And that's okay, because by listening to other people, you don't have to be so the person, the sage on the stage. You can be the guide on the side. You can be the person who's just supporting someone else. And by listening to other people, you're really providing that support. I mean, this is only 10 minutes I'm allowed, so I could really talk about improv forever. My friends are beginning. Some of you are on here. Thank you. Ad nauseum. That's okay. That's going to be my middle name today, is ad nauseum. So we're going to talk about the next improv tenet, which is there's no such thing as failures. There's only gifts. There's a really famous story about somebody who worked for a company, and he made some mistake and he lost the company $100,000. He went into his boss right away and he handed in his, papers of resignation. And his boss is like, what are you doing? I didn't fire you. And the employee was like, yeah, but I lost the company all this money. And the boss said, it might have been $100,000 you lost, but it was $100,000 of a lesson that we learned. Now, that's a little bit extreme, obviously, but sometimes when something happens, let's say it's something as simple as a recipe gone wrong, right? So you learn from that. Maybe it's an experience with somebody you're dealing with, and you thought you had all the answers, but really that was wrong, and you were wrong. You were given a failure. There's no such thing as failures. That's just how we respond to the failures. We don't get to choose our circumstances. We don't get to choose the things that come our way, but we're able to control how we're going to respond to those things. So I never look at something that messed up as a failure. Like I just started planting. I turned to that age where it's like, okay, what can I grow? And I've tried to propagate some of these hydrangeas in my house, in my garden, and I put some of the stems in, and they're not looking very good. They're just looking pretty dead. So I'm going to learn from that. I'm going to know that from now on, to propagate them in a pot, or maybe I'm going to learn to work on not watering them like crazy. Whatever it is, it's an opportunity to learn. We have 120 years hopefully in our lives to like learn so much from our failures, and not to call them failures. Sometimes when we call them that, when we couch them as that identity, it's very hard for us to like move back from that. So if we look at them as, okay, Hashem gave me a gift and I think I didn't do so well, weiter, how am I going to move forward? The last tenet that I want to talk about before I talk about the real big mama of tenets of improv is making your partner look good, which also kind of dovetails a little bit in the first one about listening. Making your partner looks good, means in improv, if I'm doing a scene with someone, sometimes we just did a musical improv class. It was unbelievable. And sometimes some of the people who are able to do the singing or doing the solo, you want to be the solo. Like I always want to be the solo. It's so much fun. I'm going to be the protagonist of the musical. But sometimes you're going to be a trio or even a 5-person song, and you're not the person that's in front of everyone. But if we didn't have our song, which we're working on together, and this in case some of you don't know, when you're doing an improv musical, you have no idea what the suggestion is. Again, a gift that you can very well fail. You have no idea what your other partners are going to say because you have to support what they're going to say. But your song might be the finale. It might tie everything together. And by doing that, you're kind of closing the circle of the actual show, and you're supporting your characters. You're supporting all the other people who are in the scene with you. And if only we could do that, we should, and many of us do, Baruch Hashem, and I'm sure all the women who are here today are doing it because they're trying to become better versions of themselves. By doing that, you are becoming a better person yourself. Supporting your character is reflexive, as Jordana said, of like supporting each other and becoming better people. So these are 3 tenets, but the real big umbrella tenet of improv, I'm sure many people have heard of before, is yes and. So yes is, I'll give you an example of the yes and principle. So if you're doing a scene, this is the best example. So I'm doing a scene with, okay, I don't have anyone to do it with, but I'm doing a scene with Shirel, and I'm saying, hey, Shirel, it's so good to see you. Look what I brought you. And Shirel could say, you didn't bring me anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Or Shirel can say, a cake. You brought me a cake. So she ended my yes, right? And then I say, yes, I heard it's your 100th birthday. And Shirel could say, don't I look great? I have this new retinoid I'm using. And it goes back and forth. But imagine it wasn't yes and. Imagine it was no, but, right? That stops the scene in its track. And for me, when I learned about the yes and principle, it really helped me a lot in my position as an assistant principal in school, right? So I deal with the trifecta of something no one wants to do. I work in an all-boys school. I work primarily in English language arts. Like none of my teachers are like, please, any subject except for English language arts. And I deal with middle school boys. We're talking the middle child of elementary is the middle school boys. And I use so much of my yes anding when it comes to that, because they are loose cannon sometimes. They have no idea what's going to come out of their mouths. But by yes anding everything, I once had to create a like little, workshop to deal with them. And I was around a table with a bunch of people. And we said, okay, guys, we're doing a Hanukkah event. And let's say you have a group of people who do that. And the first person comes out and says, why don't we do like a spaceship, theme? And someone said, yeah, we did spaceships already. Let me give you like the odds of the next person giving a suggestion. It's like done. You've just, the whole scene, the whole get together is done, because everyone's going to be so nervous to be, outed. Like, that's wrong. What are you talking about, spaceship? But imagine we said spaceship, And someone said, yeah. And then we could do a whole thing. What if we worked on the lighting? And then someone else says, oh, yeah, the lighting, that would be so great. You know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of this amazing room when I was like working on like some sort of Western, and the lighting was amazing. And then ideas are flowing and flowing, and we're just yes ending, and we're writing them down. The original idea you might have had for your workshop or for your Hanukkah event or whatever it is now going to be so rich with opportunities. If we yes and everything, then we're only building on each other. We're only building on the opportunities. So I would love to do like a little mini, I guess, practice for everyone here to use some improv. And Shirel, I'm going to use you as an example because I know you want to be here. You
Bring
showed
it
up and you're
on.
talking. So okay. So I want everyone to think of think of something that happened today or yesterday or this week, and you didn't expect that sort of thing to happen, right? It could be a misunderstanding. It could be a situation with an order you made that came wrong. Think of anything that didn't go the way you wanted to go. And now I want you to yes it, and I want you to and it. Like, what are you learning from that? How are you going to grow from that? How are you going to take that mistake, that failure, because everything comes back to all these tenets, and you're going to work forward. So everyone in this Zoom, think of it for yourself, maybe even write it down. And then now I want you to and it. So you can even put your yes ands in the chat if you want. But Shirel, what comes to mind when I ask you what happened today and how you ended it?
Gosh. Oh, yes, and did it. Okay. I didn't get the dentist for my daughter that I normally get. And I really like the dentist we normally have for my kids. And they called and said, look, we have somebody else at a different time. You want to come? You want to take advantage? You want to just, so to speak, get it over with? And instead I could have said, you know what, no, like I'm going to wait till I normally have the dentist that I like. And I said, yes, and we'll come. And I'm going to make that time really special for me and my daughter, that we can go out and grab something special for the two of us and get some quality time. And something that maybe was supposed to be maybe not so fun going to the dentist ended up being a really beautiful morning for me and my daughter. So that was really special.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's so nice. I have to think about that next time I don't get the doctor that I want. So for everyone in the I guess audience you'd call it, I want you to think of like what's your yes this week? Like what's your yes right now, and how are you going to end it in life? There's just something about being open, and like Jordana said, like really getting to know yourself. And the more you know yourself, the more you can yes and it. I want to end with a story of something of how I got to know myself. So comedy is my thing. Like I love comedy. And most people, when they're little, they want to grow up. I want to be a teacher, or I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be anything. And when I was little, all I wanted to be was two things: a veterinarian. So, my child, the doctor, could really come true. Or I wanted to be a stand-up comic. Now, most 10-year-olds don't think that they want to be a stand-up comic, but that was my dream. I used to have so many comic books and comedy books and books about jokes. I just love that. It was something really special to me. And I would be the class clown, not in a bad way. My teachers liked me. They all said that I talk too much, which many of you might agree after hearing me speak. And I was just always telling jokes, but to myself, in my head. I would always throw a one-liner here and there, but I never really thought of it as like something that maybe anyone else noticed. And I remember I was in seminary. I went to Sharfman's, and the second year, in Sharfman's, at the end of the year, they would take all of us out to dinner. And I remember Rabbi Sharfman had a little, I guess, way of highlighting each person, and they gave like a little 4-line poem or ditty of some sort. And the one that they started reading them, and our job was to guess who they were talking about. Like her hasmada is amazing, and she's kind of, that wasn't me. And I remember hearing the 4-line thing, and it was saying her one-liners and puns, something something, and she's always at making people smile, something like that. And then there was a line about this person that I was like a boss bias, and I was like, who in this room is also going to Shani's house? Who are they talking about? And everyone at the table was like staring at me. And I remember being like, wait, you think I'm funny? It was such an epiphany for me because my whole life, I never really recognized that. And it's something I really carry with me, and something I feel like is good for the summer for everyone to focus on. And it's not improv related, but I guess it's a little bit because I talked about humor. And that is, recognize for someone something special you see in them, because you might think of it all the time, like, oh, so and so is so funny, or so and so is so warm, or so and so is so kind. But when you point it out to them, it awakens something in them that makes them feel, number one, obviously better about themselves, but they're going to want to even prove to themselves and prove to other people just how true that is. And for me, that turned into me becoming a teacher. I ended up not becoming a veterinarian because I heard you have to touch the animals and not get a little squeamish. Like, I don't know, I didn't realize that when I was a kid. But I used my improv and I became a teacher. I do stand up all day long for my students. When they misbehave, I say, if you're not going to behave, I'm not going to be funny. And as an assistant principal, kids who get in trouble, I yes and it. I ask, like, why? Like, what was the reason for that? And so many times it's really not the kid's fault. And I use it in my improv teaching, in schools, in nursing homes, in corporate offices, or just like doing, having a fun improv class for just women who are interested in finding out more about their sense of humor and their sense of supporting. So I really appreciate being here, and I really appreciate being able to share my love of improv. And with that, I will pass.
Thank you so much, Chaia, for being here. Ladies, we are so lucky to have Chaia here with us. We're going to be putting her contact information here so you can get in touch with her if you're looking for improv, or if you want to pick up the latest copy of Her Tribe magazine for her wonderful recipes. Chaia, thank you so much for joining us. I learned so much from everything that you said, and I have to make my way over to you and do some improv in person, hopefully. Had a lot of fun.
I'm coming to Israel in a few weeks to visit my grandchildren, so who
There
knows?
you go. There you go. Maybe we'll be able to bump into each other. I hope so. I hope so. Thank you so much to all of our incredible speakers. We got to have Jordana, who gave us some chizuk and inspiration heading into the season. We got to hear from Malka about just ideas of how to tap into the energy, tap into what we're nourishing our minds, bodies, specifically our bodies, into how we're going to make this summer healthy and feel good. And then thank you to Chaia, who was able to teach us about the importance of yes anding, taking time to listen, to pause, and making those in our lives, giving them opportunities to shine and pointing it out to them, because we all want to be seen and heard. And now is the time when we want each and every one of you here to feel seen and heard. Ladies, we're going to be opening up the circle to you. I want to hear from if you here have been personally touched by Her Tribe magazine, whether it was by one of our speakers, maybe a previous live event that we've done, or maybe you've had the time to pick up the latest hard copy of Her Tribe magazine or the online copy, and maybe something really spoke to you and something really touched your soul that you want to share with us here. So
I just wanted to say that I find Her Tribe is just such a inspirational and special platform, just because I really feel like it can reach out to different types of people. And it's not small, and there's not a small audience, and you can be all different, come from all different places in all different backgrounds. And I really find it brings people together in like a special space.
Wow. Thank you so much, Atira. Where can I ask where you're coming from?
Yerushalayim.
Beautiful. Oh, holiest of holies. So special. Thank you so
Baruch
much.
Hashem it is.
Wow. And I'm so happy that you feel that way about the magazine. I think that's, like you said, the beauty of it is that we have so many different types of women who get to come on, and it's the whole spectrum. It's so beautiful to see the beautiful, beautiful rainbow of all different types of women coming on and sharing their stories and what makes them who they are. So
Exactly.
thank you
It's
so
such
much.
a special thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to take a moment to really thank Naomi. Naomi has done such a phenomenal job. Really, what started off as a magazine that was just for the community that we live in, showcasing the stories and words of women here, has really now become this global magazine. And it's just so special, touching women all over the world, hearing their stories, hearing about different communities here in Israel, about different projects, about different organizations started by women, run for women. and being able to connect with each and every one of you here. So a big thank you to Naomi. She's going to be taking a very well-deserved time to hopefully recalibrate, and I'm so excited to see what's going to be coming next for Her Tribe magazine. Tonight is about celebrating each and every one of you, and also the magazine and everything that we've been able to accomplish, everything that we've been able to witness and hear and celebrate over the past 9 editions that we have of Her Tribe magazine. So please be sure to grab your hard copy magazines, not just the summer edition that we have. Really, it's so beautiful. Naomi pointed out to me, we actually have the flower here that Jordana was talking about all the different petals, about what makes us passionate. And be sure to pick that up, as well as previous editions. It really, I always say that each edition gets better and better. And I have them all at home, and I have the little snippets and little sticky notes sticking out because it's just so, so special. Let's see here in the comments. I see you writing in. Let's see here. We have a podcast. That would be very, very special, Naomi. I've said it and I'll say it again. We definitely do need a podcast. And that would be so, so special. Let's hear about the retreat next week. Oh, that's going to be so exciting. Tamar, which retreat? There's, thank God, a bunch of them happening. If you can let us know down below, that would be great. And ladies, even though it's summertime and I know you might be busy, please continue to stay in touch with us, whether that's via our Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Naomi has put in the email address. Stay in touch. We want to hear about you. We want to hear about your summers and your dreams and aspirations, and maybe what you're looking forward to for the next Her Tribe magazine. So with that, we're going to say a big thank you to each and every one of you here. Thank you to our phenomenal, phenomenal speakers that we had, the incredible Jordana, Malka, and Chaia. A big thank you again to Naomi. Thank you to each and every one of you. I'm wishing each and every one of you a safe, healing, fun, good, incredible, impactful summer. That it should be the summer of your dreams. Whatever is going to be coming your way, that it should just be meaningful and beautiful for yourself and for your families and for all of Am Yisrael. So a big thank you to each and every one of you. Laila Tov from Israel, and we cannot wait to see you again.